Yo, what's up guys? So we're here to showcase off the Time Thieves, which is an archetype that's all about taking your opponent's cards and using them as material. The main card that we're going to be focusing on here is the Time Thief Red Doer. Anyways, it's a generic card that you guys can see. It just refers to level 4 monsters. But once per turn, during the standby phase, you can attach the top card of your opponent's deck to this card as material as a quick effect. And then you can detach up to 3 different types of materials from this card. Then apply the following effects depending on what was detached. If it's a monster, you can banish this card until the end phase, so you can dodge stuff. If it's a spell, you get to draw a card. And if it's trap, you can place one face-up card your opponent controls on the top of the deck. So you have little options here. Unfortunately, it's not the easiest thing to get traps as material, unless of course you're just attaching it from your opponent there. Because there are cards that, well, no, there's a spell card that you just add as material, so it's not that difficult. But you're not really looking to get that many attachments on him, unless of course you want to go for like an OTK with Time Thief Hack, which is a card that you can play in the deck, which makes it so during the turn that they are special summoned, this is all exceed monsters you control, can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, and also you can't target them. So basically, they're there to stay, and as you can see, it's going to be GG. But what you're able to do with this card is you can just target a face-up exceed monster you control. It gains 300 attack for each material attached to it, which, as you guys know, with the Zodiac, I mean, Borbo can already attack directly, but the boost is just going to be even dirtier with this. But until the end of this turn, and if it does, and also has material that is owned by your opponent, though, which is going to be a little bit more difficult, obviously, in Zodiac deck, but it can attack directly this turn. Even if this card leaves the field, you can only use this effect of it once per turn. So basically, it makes your card safe, and then if you have a bunch of materials, which at this point you have like, I don't know, 4 or 5, he's going to gain additional like 1500 attack, and that's not too bad, especially since you can just attack directly. Your opponent, if they were to do anything to the card, you just banish it and make it come right back. But now, keep in mind, material will fall off, so that can actually help your opponent. This is an excellent duel over here. Shout out to my boy Teriyaki for this one, because I literally just made a video about this topic yesterday, and a lot of you guys loved it. If you guys haven't seen yesterday's vid, highly recommend you to check it out. In fact, a lot of you guys in the Yu-Gi-Oh community really liked it. It got posted on Reddit. But anyways, it was about why people leave Yu-Gi-Oh. And this is an example over here. I don't even know why this guy didn't use Soul Charge, but this guy makes one of those stupid boards that's just like, I just don't even want to play. He could have made it much better with Soul Charge, but he makes the full armor master that each time your opponent activates effect, you can place wedge counter, and then you can target a wedge counter and take control of it, and it's unaffected by everything. Oh, I gotta negate something, and I got a card with 5k attack. I still don't know why he didn't use Soul Charge and extend his combo, maybe, I don't know, right out of time. But nonetheless, we're gonna go ahead. He just basically beats it by going for a Utopia over here. The lightning runs over the savage, and then at this point, I guess he just done goof, man. It does have the wedge counter, and this has the effect where you can actually take control over it. He should have at least tried to take control of it. I mean, this guy was a scrub, but I just love seeing people make these boards, and then he hits him with that young Imperial Order, and the guy just was like, I'm out. It didn't really have to do too much with the Time Thieves, but I really did like seeing that. It made me feel a little bit better. Again, yesterday's video was fire, so I'll pin it down below in the comment section below. But anyways, over here, we're going to go ahead and swap boards. This guy is going to go ahead and summon his Time Thief Regulator, but that effect gets needed. This card's actually pretty good. It makes it so if you control no other monsters, you distribute it, and you just get to summon 2 Time Thief monsters from your deck in defense position except for itself. And then when the exceed monster you control is destroyed by battle while it's in the graveyard, you can just special summon it. So basically, it's like make Time Thief Red Doer, and then just go ahead and potentially get another free card. This guy's going to go ahead and make the same thing. Although he makes a questionable play over here. So he's going to activate that effect to attach one. He's going to activate that effect so he goes away. I guess because he thought he was going to go ahead and add the card. Which he did add technically to boost up the attack. But at this point, well, he just ended up gaming himself anyway. So it didn't really matter. I mean, he still had instant fusion as a play. Technically anyway. So he could have extended his plays even further. But basically, yeah, it just shows you guys, of course, I'm going to swap over the board. You can see it's basically just making a Red Doer over and over again, which is, again, the star player of the deck. And you know what, I was thinking it will work quite well with this card, if you guys wanted to, because he doesn't really protect himself other than he goes away and comes right back. He doesn't really like stun your opponent. I was thinking you could probably make like a rank 4 spam-ish deck, of course, with Time Thieves, and then throw in cards like Drowning, throw in cards like Torrential Tribute. So you're not losing out on anything because it's going to return to the field, because you're always going to be dodging stuff, as you guys have seen from the gameplay here. But since I didn't really cover the Time Thieves in general, I will go over all of the Time Thief cards, just because, well, in this video we didn't really get a chance to see every single card, and I want to make a video kind of talking about the archetype here. I don't know if I would consider it to be like an OP archetype or something that I would say needs a nerf. All it really does is dodge one thing, but again, I mean, the card that lets you attach, look how many material he's got on this guy, alright? He just attached another one, alright? I mean, there might be plays, and there might be some cheesy way to OTK with the card where it gains 300 for each one. But I want to, again, go over the entire archetype and have a short little discussion about it. So, here's the deck profile in case any of you guys did want to kind of see it. It's just basically a rank 4 spam deck, but it's got triple copies of Thrasher, triple copies of Winder. So, the Time Thief Winder has the effect where you attach material from Exceed monster you control, special summon this card from your hand, and with no more special, you get to add one Time Thief card from your deck to your hand, except for itself, which basically just makes the deck. Now, as far as right now, they are all dark, so if you happen to run some lights, which again Thrasher happens to be, you can throw in Blacklist or Soldier. I mean, if you're able to bust out this card, attach some stuff, swing, maybe get BLS to attack twice, you can actually do a decent amount of damage, and maybe even game your opponent, depending on how many materials that you have, of course, with the boost of Time Thief Hack, which again, you can search out anyways. Then we got 2 copies of Star Drawing, so you just gotta draw an extra card. And if it's used for an Exceed summon, you can treat it as 5, but in this deck, we're not really utilizing it for that. Then we got Dyna Ethereum, so it's just more just rank 4 spam. We got the Goblin Berg, you can also Rhoda for that, as well as the Thrasher. And then we got 2 copies of Kage to Kage, so another rank 4 spam card. And we got the Time Thief Bezel Ship, so this card has a quick effect. You contribute this card, target a Time Thief Exceed monster you control, and attach one card from your opponent's graveyard to that as material. And if this card is sent, if this card's in the graveyard, you can attach a material from an Exceed monster you control and just special summon it, but banish it when it leaves the field. So that's kind of cool. And then this card over here also it gets banished after you use the other effect. But this is the card I was talking about, where if you control no other monsters, you just special summon it. 2 Time Thief monsters from your decks with different names in defense position. Obviously, it's just going to be straight into this more than likely. But if it's in your graveyard, you can special summon this card when an Exceed monster you control is destroyed by battle, which is kind of for this effect, but also it gets banished when it leaves the field. What I was thinking would be interesting with these cards over here is actually combining it with Imperial Order, so you can, not Imperial Order, Imperial Iron Wall, so you could just keep on recycling your cards. Now these effects are only once per turn, but still, I mean, if this is actually dying, and then you're just going to get stuff back, and anytime where you're you attribute it, where is it? If this card's in your graveyard, you attach a material from a sea monster you control, which is really easy. Every single standby phase, you're going to be doing that. And you can just keep on special summoning this card infinitely. And it's got 2,000 defense, so it's not bad at all. And you have 3 copies of Infusion, 1 Reinforcement, 1 Upstart. We got Reborn, Triple Called, 2 copies of the Time Thief Hack, 3 copies of Impermanence, 3 copies of Time Thief Flyback. So this lets you target a Time Thief Exceed monster you control, attach 1 Time Thief card from your hand or deck to it as material, and also you can banish the card from your graveyard, target a Time Thief Exceed monster you control, attach 1 card from your opponent's graveyard to it as material. So it can really mess up certain decks that really need like a certain amount of, like, let's say lights, darks, whatever element, or a certain thing that they're trying to reborn or get out of the graveyard. It could definitely be not a bad card to run. I like how you're just able to attach 1. Then we have 2 copies of Anti-Spell Fragrance, so your opponent's going to be a little bit slowed down. And then we have Imperial Order. But like I said, I think what would be interesting with this deck is honestly Torrential and Drowning. Those could be excellent cards in this archetype. But as of right now, we have very limited cards for it. But anyways, for the extract, we got 2 copies of the Mud Dragon. We got the Utopia lineup, which did save him from that one game. We got the Dark Rebellion. We got 3 copies of Red Dwarf. 1 Tornado, 1 copy of number 41, 1 Exciton, 1 Dweller, 1 Underclock, and Police Patrol. And then this is just probably a card he decided he didn't need that many copies of, even though he's playing 3 copies of Instant Fusion. More likely he won't go through all the copies. I'm thinking for like certain draw power in the deck, you could go for like some of the pots, like obviously Desires and Indulgence. Obviously you do need to have 3 copies of this, but I would say you probably don't really need to go through 3 copies. I would definitely put 3 if I was playing Indulgence, but what I'm trying to say is there's not that much draw power in the deck. There is a searchability, but As far as draw power, the deck could technically use some. We'll see if that comes out later down the line, but this is just an early build of it because we don't have that many cards. But you guys can let me know your thoughts down below on the Time Thieves. What do you guys think of the archetype? I think it's an interesting mechanic. It's something definitely new, and it's not what I would consider so broken OP. But that's my personal thoughts. You guys can let me know yours down below, or if you'd like to change up this build, let me know. Like I said, I think with Drowning and Torrential, you can make kind of a different play style of a deck. But overall, I don't really see it being like S tier, at least as of right now. I don't think it's going to be one of the best decks. Maybe someone can figure out some type of cheese with it, but for now, it's just kind of something new, and it's, again, not super OP. But like I said, guys, make sure you check out yesterday's vid. I'm going to pin it down below. It was a really, like, I would say it was more, like, popular video that I've released in, like, the past couple months, I'd say. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the vid. If you did, drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more Yu-Gi-Oh! Content. Shoutouts, once again, to my boy Teriyaki for hooking me up. I'll have a link down below. But anyways, thanks for watching. Peace out.